Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to the Land of Glass. It's a real-time collectible card slash RPG, action RPG game where the prevailing aesthetic is that everything is done in this sort of stained glass window motif. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go. I'm going to start a new game. This is my second time recording this. The last time my audio did not come through correctly, and I got to a point where I couldn't get any further. So I'm going to do a new game. I'm going to show you from the beginning how little tutorial there actually is in the game. It's much to its detriment. So, new game it is. And we will begin. Yep, confirm. I'm going to do normal just so you can see how terrible it is, but let's just roll with that. I could do easy and it would be probably more my speed. They said no? They said no. Are you surprised? Yes. Yes, I am. Why, are you not? No. Of course you aren't. We've had this conversation before. How can you be so cynical? The guild has given me no reason not to be. The guild is strict because Svartota demands it. Our hands are just as tight as ours. Yes, do what they do and make this about that cursed lake. Svartota isn't our prison warden. Aye, the guild is, and they always have been. The lake is important. We were put here to protect it. The dragons. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm not sure I ever did. I cannot raise my family here, and you should not raise your family here either. Deep down, you know I am right. What was that? Got face huggers. Face huggers have come to wreck our faces. What the freezing hell? Alright, we're going to begin our first battle here. And there's probably going to be some tutorial tips pop up, so I won't go into my spiel just yet. Attack cards. Attack by placing attack cards on the attack grid. This will lower the opponent's defenses, so damage can be dealt. Alright. Defense cards. Defend against damage by placing defense cards on the defense grid. Okay. That's... Damage is dealt when an attack is greater than the defense on the defense grid. The greater the difference, the more damage done. Successful attacks lower the opponent's stamina, reducing their walking speed. Damaged opponents are also knocked backward. The primary goal is to knock opponents off the playing field. Alright, did you get all that? Because it doesn't... As succinct as that was, it didn't really ring a bell. It didn't really sink in with me at first, because that's the last time they're going to talk about any of that. Pretty much. If we go into the inventory here, we can add cards to our deck, which will do that with the cards that we picked up. I'm going to get rid of these low cards, because they actually don't help anything by being there. We're going to keep our deck low. Up here is a weight meter. So basically this will increase as you sort of level up in the game, and it determines how many cards you can have in your deck. Each card has a weight associated with it. The weight is usually this down here, this number down the corner. So the reason I'm removing a lot of the cards from here is because those lower cards actually don't help much. Those grids that you saw, that's pretty much the way the grids are for the first part of the game here. They're all like 3s and stuff like that. So having the lower numbered cards really doesn't help that much. It would help more if these cards actually had different attack speeds, which as far as I can tell, they don't. They all have the same cooldown on them. If they had like a faster cooldown, then I would carry them along, like carry low level ones along, so they would be a lot faster to attack with, but it's not really the case as far as I've seen. So let's go back now and we will continue. What was that? I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. Look, they're everywhere. Are we being invaded? My family, Ty, they're in danger. We have to find them. And then it's a node based from here on out. You can see all these little nodes will show up as you go around the city. Now, a note about the art style. It's pretty. It's pretty that they went with the sort of stained glass look. What gets very, very old very, very fast is the shader that they put over it to have like the streamers of light coming through here. Like after a while of just looking at the game, it just hurts your eyes. At least it hurts my eyes after a while. I'm like, yeah, you know, it's a cool aesthetic, but I could do without the shader, and I wish there was a way to just turn that off, because it really does like get to the point where you don't even want to look at the screen anymore. So yeah, whatever. That's when art overrode function, I think. So let us begin the battle against this. This is just one wave with just one enemy. And we'll knock his grid down there. We'll reinforce our grid a little bit. And we'll hit him for a bunch of damage. There, and put some more defense down while we wait for... So attack cooldowns. Once an attack card is placed, the attack cooldown begins, preventing further attacks to that area for a short period of time. Your attacks will not trigger until the attack cooldown has depleted, which I just messed up on because I didn't... the cooldown was still going on. That's what that red you saw coming down off the thing was. One of the big problems I've had with the game thus far is everything's drag and drop. And when you do special cards, which we'll see in a little bit, the time slows down a little bit so you can kind of aim them on the board. When you're doing just regular attack and defense cards, it's really difficult to get the card to actually land in the spot that you want it. Like, it jumps around between all these grids as you're moving it over here. And if you let go at just the wrong time, it'll go into the wrong slot, usually into a slot that's in a cooldown, which means you basically stuck until that cooldown finishes before you can do anything else, really. So there we go. There was our victory. And we got a special card. A utility card. Equip utility cards to improve player stats. Only one of the same type of utility card can be equipped at a time. So there's like 2 slots. They're blue, 2 that are red, 2 that are gold, and those correspond with whatever utility cards you've picked up. This one was a simple staff imbued with fire, so it gives me more fortitude and more stamina, amount of damage that can be taken before no longer moving. So there we go. And tooltips and all that stuff, got it. Fire magic and all these things. So increase the power of knockback attacks. Amount of damage that can be taken before no longer moving is our stamina meter and all those things. It's hard to sort of track these down, honestly. I don't even quite understand how these affect anything yet. It seems to be just a toss-up between whether or not you actually succeed or not. You'll see as we go here, I'm gonna lose a few and then play the exact same cards again and then suddenly win. So just it's a little inconsistent in how things work here, in my opinion. It doesn't help that they really don't. They really just throw you into the fire and don't really give you much to think about here. We got one wave and it's just this guy, so let's begin our battle and knock his defenses down a little bit. And there we go. Let's get a good 4 on him. And a 3 on him, and that will knock him out. There you go. Now, I know it's weird to say this. I'm going to say it anyway. And we got a fire card. This is one of the cards I was talking about where you can play it on the playing field rather than into the attack field. They'll explain it once we get into the combat, but the weird thing I was going to say, I realize that there are genres of RPGs. So you got turn-based RPGs, you got your action RPGs. Never would I sit in a turn-based RPG and go, boy, I wish this was an action RPG, right? And never would I be in an action RPG and be like, boy, I really wish this combat was turn-based. This is the first game that I've ever picked up where I'm like, I really wish that this action card collecting game was turn-based like every other card collecting game. It annoys me to no end that the combat in this game is real time, and I realize that that's a really stupid thing to say because it's not like it's trying to create a genre that doesn't exist, so it is trying to be unique, and it is, but I personally think the game is worse for it. Like, I feel like there would have been a better way to do this. Like, you think about collectible card games, you think about, oh, it's the synergy of the cards and how it's not about each individual card, it's about the combination of cards that leads to victory or defeat. And that's kind of here. It's about the combination of cards, but it's so watered down in order to make way for this active combat, this real-time combat, that I feel like the game as a whole loses something from it. But each their own. So let's go and do another battle. Monsters don't just kill, they infect. I don't understand. Answers can wait. I need to find my wife and daughter first. None of this matters until I know they are safe. Alright, now we're going to have 2 waves of 1 enemy each. So begin battle. Right, field magic cards. Place field magic cards on the playing field to perform a variety of attacks and abilities. Time slows down significantly when holding a field magic card. So you can see what it does there. And basically just got to keep this guy at bay here. And keep knocking down his defenses. Come on. Go. Play a defense card there. Off. And now we're on to the second wave. And we'll burn him a little bit. Go. And see, you can see how much he knocked me back. And I lost. Now you look at that and you go, what did you do wrong? And I say, I can't tell you. Can't tell you what I did wrong. Let's play that battle again. And this is the frustrating thing about this game. I don't mind a difficult game. I mind it when I don't know how to improve upon what I just did. Because I'm going to do exactly what I just did again. And this time I'll maybe possibly be successful. We'll see. So, go knock this out of the park again. That down there. Knock him down. Let's do that. Let's put a fence thing there. Let's knock him back some more. Put another defense thing up here. That going. Alright, another defense. We'll do that. And that one's on cooldown, so that's gonna hurt me big time. Do this. Let's get another fence thing up there. Let's do that. And do that. And do that. And then bang. So I ask you, What did I do differently there? Because I can't see it. I did pretty much the same thing I did the last time around, and that's where my frustration with this game, that's another point, another sticking point that makes me really frustrated about the game. Another defense thing up there. We'll grab our utility card. Head of a pickaxe. For many Drax, the axe represents their livelihood. It gives me two virtue and 1 attack. So we'll do that. Equip that. You can see our weight meter up here. Our strength currently used by a deck. So let us continue. The gold, I don't know what the gold is used for yet. I haven't made it far enough to like get to a shop or anything, so I assume it's to buy more cards, but I haven't managed to make it that far. I've gotten so frustrated with the game. Alright, let's one wave of one guy here, so do what we can. That was a spot where I put it in the wrong slot because there we go. That was one of those where I meant to put that card in the next slot up and it popped into the one below it. So we got a field card. Bathes the playing field in light, which heals me. And I got another shield card here. Let's grab that, put that in there. See, we're getting close to the end of our weight there. All these, that's a weight of 4. So, continue. The music, as interesting as it is on a very short loop too, and it's not the type of music that I'd mind on a short loop. You know what I mean? It takes a certain tune that can kind of get stuck in your head. This is that you can put it on a short loop. If it's something that will get really stuck in your head, having it on a short loop is fine. This is not the type of music that should be on one, so it's starting to get a little annoying. The guard posts mean nothing today. I've never seen them so empty. Perhaps they've been called elsewhere to better protect those in the city? Ha! No, they have fled in terror, and once I find my family, I plan on doing the same. We cannot stop this, Ty. I don't know what it is, but we cannot stop it. We cannot abandon the lake. Yes, we can, and now might be our only chance. But come on. It honestly feels like the music has like 5 notes. Or 5 or 6 notes, it feels like. It's just like the same 5 or 6 notes just constantly repeating. Alright, we got one wave of 3 enemies, so here we go. See if they like to burn. How much burning they like to do. Knock them back a bit. There we go. Alright, what did we get for our troubles? We got a handle of a pickaxe. Okay. And then we got 2 utility cards. Give us more clarity and things. I got another shield card. I'm going to take one of these out of there so we don't try to keep the deck small and manageable as much as possible. So but I might take, well, yeah, I think that'll be good for right now. I think I've taken one more out of there. We'll do that. We'll head down here where this thing's going to probably jump on us, right? Yep, 2 waves, one with that and one with a soldier of some sort. Let's get our defense up. Knock this thing into next century. Again. There we go. I caught that card out of the air here. Now I'm having trouble actually getting cards to go into my hand and up onto the grid, which is fun times. See if I can heal myself a little bit. There we go. Now, if you're that bar above his head goes empty, I think the next hit you take, you basically knocked you all clear across the room and out. So, we have two of these cards here, which are strength cards, which actually just permanently increase the strength, which means you can have more cards in your deck. So you don't see these as actual cards you can use; they just permanently apply. So I go into my inventory now. You can see we can go up to 59 as opposed to, I think we were at 50 before. So that said, we have this guy, this grid card, which burns down the enemy's defense over time. We can pop that in there just for the sake of argument. It's not as useful as you might think. I'm going to take one of these out. Actually, I'm going to take two of those out and one of these out just to keep our deck manageable here. Make sure we're getting the cards that we need when we need them. Keep it at optimal, I should say. Oh, grid magic cards are relevant grid to perform a variety of tasks. Yeah, this is the telling me about those cards, what they do. Oh, and let's do that, and do that, and that. There we go. And now we got cards that are a little bit different. You can see they have little dots on them. It's exactly what you think it is. If I go into inventory here and I look at it, when you go and play these cards, it will actually play 3 cards up and down in a straight line on the grid, or side to side on the grid. So kind of, if you've got multiple things on your defense grid that are down, you can kind of play these to try to get them back up. Again, for all practical purposes, they are about as useless as it can be. I mean, it's a neat concept. It's something, it's something different. I mean, they cost more weight because it's 2 times 3, right? Because you're putting 3 cards out there, so it's 6. But ultimately, in practice, it does nothing. You might as well be just continuing on with the normal regular cards, right? It's just I get the idea that they were driving for. It's just not blowing my skirt up in any event. So let's just go over here. It's empty. Why is my home empty? Naru? Arzola? I see no signs of struggle. Perhaps. Naru? Arzola? The guild hall. The vault. Everyone has been running towards the guild hall. It's where the guards would be sent. They'll be up there along with my wife. We will find them. The guild would never let the likes of me or my family enter its halls. I work for the guild, and so does my wife. Trust me, our families are safe. Alright, we got 2 waves. One with this guy and one with this guy. This one was where I ended the last time I recorded this because this guy was wrecking my face. So let's see what happens now. See how we do now, huh? that, and try to knock him off if we can. There we go. He is down. This grid here. Now, the enemies that come in get the same defense grid as the ones before him. Now, see how much damage that guy did to me? Like, it's a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. This is basically now we've got a huge difficulty spike right in the middle of all this. So another negative pop down there. Now I could try and preserve some of my cards until such time as it can be used. Whoops, that's not what I want. I was trying to grab the defense card and it was not having any of that. Now let's put this down now. But no, that's on cool. Yep. Yep. That is how it's been going. Again, this is why I rage so much about this being real time and not turn-based, because honestly, it's very unwieldy. Like it's just this whole grid thing is just a bit of a pain, and I get why they did it because they're trying to do all this real-time stuff, but it does not improve the existing game, in my opinion. Now let's do this, and we'll get that going. That, do that, that. Try and knock him back a bit. And get that wearing down on him. And we'll get that going. Because we're right on the edge. And just barely. Now, how did I do differently there than the other ones? Yeah. That's about all I can say is, I don't know. I guess I held off, or I didn't hold off on the heal, so I did that first, and then maybe that helped a little bit. It's hard to tell. Things go by so fast, and it's just not much you can do to improve upon that. Let's get this up there. Let's get rid of that. And that should be good. I mean, there's really no reason to do more than that I can see. You know what I mean? It's just like, that sounds good. Get up here and see what is said. The map transition. All right, we got one more enemy here. Let's do one more encounter, and then I'm going to wrap this one up. Let's say, begin battle. And both of these guys at once, eh? Well, they're hitting me. They're hitting me pretty badly. Knock them back a bit. Let's get some healing on me. And back there a little bit. And that's the fire down there. Let's get that back up. Not that it seems to be doing any good. Oh, and that, and heal me up. All right, well, that works. And what did we get here? We have gotten a Field card drops a meteor on the playing field, causing stamina damage over time to enemy it hits. Okay. What they used against me, so turnabout is fair play. And then I got an equipment thing, right? What is this? Simple orb imbued with fire. Alright. So be it. So what's my stats look like now? I have a strength of 76. Alright. Alright. Continue. Are you alright? No, I just killed Herzog. Ty, he was my friend. He worked in the mines and sold me the best ore. Now he's dead. I am sorry. He always had my back, and now I put a knife in his. Not your fault. Not mine, then whose? Alright. I don't know if we're gonna have more story before we get to this guild hall up here, it looks like. But I'm gonna stop it here. As you've probably guessed to this point, I like the aesthetics of the game when it's not hurting my eyes, which right now it is, so I'm kind of looking away from the monitor as I say this. Can we get back to the main menu? Yeah, let's get back to the main menu. At least it's a little less daunting. It's a good concept. It's a good idea. I'm certainly not hating on the art style. I'm hating on the shader. Basically, the shader that they added over top of their art is the thing that I'm hating on. But the art itself is very beautiful. I see where they're going with it. They're trying to do a little genre bending. I don't know that a real-time mechanics will work with the CCG, but if it were to work, I would say there would have to be something different than what this game is doing, because it's really, if you haven't figured out by now, it's not. I'm not really falling in love with the game, which is unfortunate because I think they're trying something new, and it's certainly a departure from other things I've seen. It's just not it's not grabbing me, honestly. But it may grab some of you guys, so that's why I do this stuff. This has been The Land of Glass. It is by Dual Wield Software. It is currently $14.99 US on Steam. It is fully released, I believe. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.